So we're going to start with a 12-inch terracotta pot. So you want to start with a little bit of water and then add just a small amount of white paint. You can use any white craft paint that you have. I'm using some chalk paint. And I'm going to dip this rag and just start rubbing it on the pot. So I have this kind of distressed look. Once the paint is dry, it's time to turn this into a planter. So I have a small plastic disposable pot here that I want to put in the center of this. To create the middle, I'm just going to take some stones and fill up that plastic pot in the middle. Then to top it off, I'm just going to add a little bit of gravel so that I have a nice flat surface. So I'm just taking a selection of nice faux flowers and I've cut the stems and I'm just going to poke them in and around here. This is one of those vases that came with a flower arrangement. It's going to work perfect for this. It kind of looks like a hurricane you might put on top of an oil lamp. And then to the middle, I'm going to add a tall battery-powered votive. I have a spring porch planter.
I've got an area on the side of my house that is just ugly with an old hose. So what I'm going to do is take some handles and also the base for a planter, and I'm going to put these handles on the side, but it can be difficult to find out how to do it. So all you got to do is take the handles and put some tape over them. Take a pen and you're just going to poke through where the screws go in the handles. Then you'll just peel the tape off and you can then transport the tape onto the side of the planter where you want to drill your marks. Once you got it on there firmly, just go ahead and take a pen or a black marker and just push it through and mark. This is where you're going to drill the holes. Once you remove the tape, it's going to show you where your two marks are. Now, on the screws that go for the handles, you want to make sure you get the right size drill bit, just enough that the threads will go through the planter. Drill your holes, and then you can pop the screws through from the inside to the out. And that way you can go ahead and put these handles on. Use your hand to tighten them first and then a screwdriver later. Go ahead and put both sides on and make sure you get them nice and tight. We're going to be using these handles to carry this base around. Then what we're going to do is go ahead, put both sides on, but we're going to flip it over because we need to drill some drain holes. I went ahead and just used these marks that are on the back and put them all the way through, and also want to make sure I get the middle one. That way it can drain if it needs to. Once we got these holes drilled, turn it back over and we're going to use some succulent potting soil. Put that all over and spread it out, fill it up, and then you can begin to go ahead and transplant your succulents over to this base. All you have to do is make a hole and put the roots in. It's great. Succulents are so good at being transported over from one pot to another, and they're easy to take care of. I love having them because they don't take as much water. Sometimes I call them forget-me-nots because you can forget them for a while and they hold up great. Go ahead and put in as many or as few as you want. On the planter though, where we're going to hide the hose, we need to drill a hole about halfway up, and that's how we're going to put the hose in. Go ahead and make sure about a 1-inch hole will be just fine. Also, sometimes them garden hose leak, so we also want to put some drain holes in the bottom of this planter. Now the last thing we got to do is put some wood in there. That's going to hold this lid up. I went ahead and used my drill to do a pre-drill, put some screws in there, and then you put the wood back up against the side and you'll use your drill to go ahead and cinch those screws down. If you do it nice and tight, it's going to hold it really nice. Once you got it, make sure you do 2 on each side. Make sure you also get that garden hose through. Pull it all the way through, wrap it up, and look at that. Go ahead and put your succulent tray right on top. I hope this inspired you to build your own DIY succulent tray garden hose holder.
Save a few of your flower pots this summer to make this adorable garden friend. To start this project, I want to paint the large saucer green. I also want to cover the 4 small clay pots in the same green paint. I'm making sure to cover all of the exposed areas with the paint. Now that the paint is dry, I want to add some spots. I'm going to use this small circular sponge dabber to do that. I've mixed up 2 shades of green paint that are different from the original one that I used. This is going to create the spots all over that I want. I've arranged the 4 pots so that they're touching each other. Now that all the pots have their glue, I can lay the large saucer right on top of them. I had these 2 scrap wood pieces and I want to paint them in the same green that I painted the pots and the saucer. The last thing I need to do now is to glue the little wood pieces onto the saucer. I'm using the same contact cement to attach them. My new turtle friend is so adorable and it's the perfect little riser to hold a plant. I hope this has inspired you to make a cute little animal with your leftover pots as well.
Grab a few terracotta pots and saucers to make a decorative feature for your backyard or patio. Start by applying clear spray sealant to the 14-inch saucer on both sides. You'll apply 2 coats and let it dry. Then drill a hole into the bottom of the 7-inch saucer and the 6-inch pot. Use a round file to file 4 notches in the lip of the 6-inch pot, making sure that one of the notches is large enough for the fountain cord to run through. Then file 4 notches in the lip of one of the 5-inch saucers and 1 notch in the lip of the 7-inch saucer. Place the fountain pump on the 14-inch saucer and place the 6-inch pot upside down over it to cover, making sure the cord runs through one of the openings. Slide the fountain tubing up through the hole and set it on top of the pot, and seal with the silicone sealer. Let dry overnight. Take the 5-inch saucer with the 4 notches and place it upside down on top of the tubing to cover. Turn the 4-inch pot upside down and place it next to the 6-inch pot. Notch the second 5-inch saucer and place it on top of the 4-inch pot. Place the third 5-inch saucer upside down next to the 4-inch pot. Notch the fourth 5-inch saucer and place it on top. Fill the 14-inch saucer with water, plug in the fountain and turn it on. Turn the saucers as needed to adjust the water flow. Add moss, potted plants, and decorative stones to finish the look, and enjoy your fountain.
For today's project, I ran to my local Walmart and grabbed 2 matching pots, one bigger than the other. I wanted to beautify the front of the house and make it look just amazing with the water feature. First thing I did was level an area in the front that would be in direct sunlight and put the bigger pot in first. Next, I grabbed an old bucket that I really didn't need anymore. I was going to place it upside down into the bigger pot. The biggest thing you got to do here is make sure that it's centered. If you need to add some rocks or sand to the bottom to make it sturdy, now's the time to do it. Next, I grabbed a flower pot base, one that was just slightly smaller than the rim, but I wanted to make sure that I turned it with the lip side down, and I'll tell you why later. Make sure it's centered, and then once it's in there, the next step is we're going to take the smaller pot that we got and place it on the center of that pot. Make sure it's centered. Next step, I want to grab some local rocks and place them around the edge. There was a slight gap around the edge, but I made sure to put the bigger rocks in first and then fill it with the smaller rocks. Now, if you want to plant flowers or anything around the edge, you're going to take that flower pot base, turn it with the lip side up. That way you can put soil inside. I went ahead and made sure that these rocks were strategically placed all around the edges to fill any gap and to cover the base completely. You can use Riverstone if you'd like on this project. Next, I got out a new solar-powered fountain that I bought for $10. It floats in the water because it's got a float on the bottom, and it works great in direct sunlight, and it's got many different nozzles for spray patterns. With this fountain comes some plastic spacers. What this does is make sure that the fountain stays in the center of the pot. It avoids the splash coming outside of the pot when it's working. Once you put the clips in the spacer, there's little slots around the sides that you can put this into the foam. Now these are going to be a little bit bigger than you need, but they're trimmable. So take it, place it on the pot, and then what you're going to do is mark around the edges, give it about a 1/4 inch to 1 inch space. That way it kind of moves around just a little bit. Once you got it marked, you can go ahead and just trim it with a pair of scissors. It's easy to do. Make sure that it fits inside and it's going to be able to float up and down with the water level. Next step, put some nice clear water inside. Once you get it to the water level you want, go ahead and place the fountain inside. Make sure that it has the ability to go up and down as the water level changes from evaporation. Now, once the direct sunlight hits it, voila, you've got a water fountain. The most amazing thing about this is it's solar powered, so you can place it anywhere in your yard that it gets direct sunlight. No worries or cares about an outlet or cords running out underneath. I hope you enjoyed this project. We did, and we can't wait to see you again on Home Talk.